Hey y'all, what's up? I have been gone for a minute. My stomach. I had to take a break. I watched multiple interviews with John Cena, and they asked him, "Do he watch wrestling?" And he was like, "I catch it when I can, because it's a full-time job." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, it is." Just watching Monday and Friday is a full-time job, and the PLEs. Like, and then if you lucky, you watch Tuesdays. And then if you catch like AEW and TNA, you watching Thursday. And then what is it? What's Booker T jump? ROW. And then if you want the people that really, really love wrestling, be up 3, 4 in the morning, you watch the Japanese one. Like if you watch all of that, that's crazy. But just the Monday and Friday one is crazy. So for me, you know. But the first match I watched, I'm watching Backlash. I'm going all the way back. Was the Fatal 4-Way match for the U.S. Championship. LA Knight had came out first. I was so excited about production doing the DBA for him. It's certain people you got to do the DBA for. Like, even if you don't do it the whole time, you got to do it when they do LA Knight. Yeah. I think it was the same amount of DBA as it was for when they had, when London was cheering for people. Then they had Drew come out. Drew looks big and per usual. I'm loving the fact that they bring out the fire. I think I said that prior to, but I missed that. Like, because I used to be like, what happened to it? Even if it was only on 2 sides this time instead of 4. I missed him having that. And then Damian came out. I liked his hair. It wasn't too much. And I liked the jacket. It came out. You know. And then I was like, this tat right here on his right arm looked like it was glistening extra. I was like, I don't know if it's the moisturizer that he put on his arms and stuff, or if it's a new tat. Okay, because new tats look different than older tats. Okay, just saying. And then they had they had Jacob come out. Okay, Jacob came out. That's all I would say. Because if you from the hood, you know that man came out with the jump right on here. I was like, yeah. But then what had me is when he came to the ring and he licked the daggone U.S. title. And I said, I hope that ain't the same title Logan Paul had. Don't lick that, man. He took a picture with it naked in the shower. Don't do that, okay? Second of all, the person in the back, when they was coming out, talking about, I sold my car for these tickets. I said, I believe that 1,000%. Only because every PLE, they try to outdo the other ones. And they be like, this is the largest gate. Surprisingly, WrestleMania and like SummerSlam be the cheapest tickets, to be honest. And they be like, this is the largest gate. And I be like, the building is smaller. So they try to make a semi-profit or the same profit as a major thing. As a major thing. I had did my hair, washed it that time, and did a twist and did the twist out. So, but yeah, so they all come out. LA Knight was on fire for the first like 2 minutes. And then at one point in time, Jacob had took over, and then Drew had did something, and then he popped up, and I was like, he too tall to be popping up like that, okay? So then Jacob had put Samoan dropped Damian on the barricade. First of all, I said his Samoan drops are deadly. Okay. Second of all, it's on the barricade too. I can only imagine what that feel like. Then at one point in time, all 4 of them was in the ring. So Jacob had took a little bit of time getting up on the ring to try to do something to Drew. Drew had Claymore. No, he had threw him over. Right? So then Jacob popped back up. I'm like, that's crazy. So then LA Knight had, hold on, I'm getting it wrong. Wait, I might be getting it wrong. Jacob had Swanton, LA Knight I think had BFT. No. Yeah, I think Jacob Swanton, LA. I'm not mistaken. I think LA Knight had BFT. Damian had this South of Heaven and Drew had Claymore. Damian or something like that. They all had the moves were right, but the people I'm saying is wrong. I know it. And I was like, this is crazy. So then Damian ends up falling on LA Knight. And when they get to 3, or about to get to 3, I think Jacob ends up bringing it up. So then at one point in time, yeah, because that was right before he had Damian has Samoan drop. Jacob had did all that stuff and then went out in the ring and then hit Damian. And I'm like, he got back in the ring. So then it was just Drew and Jacob for a minute, I think. Was it Drew and Jacob? No, it was Drew and LA Knight, because I think he did like a DDT or something like that. Drew was about to pin him, and then Damian had slid the ref up out of the thing. So in between that, Drew looked at him, and I was like, oh snap. First of all, what is that ref man, that black ref name? I know I seen him in NXT. I know he's been a ref for a while, but I don't know his name. Like, I've been watching 3 years. I know who Charles is. Some of them names is now slipping my mind because I'm trying to think. I know Jessica. I know Ref Bay, Ava. Oh no, that's her real name. Daphne. Which one's her real name? Which one's her WWE name? And then you got the dude from Jersey. My mind is slipping. I know who, like, I know most of the names, but I was like, I don't know his name. Okay, and he just got moved up, didn't he? So, also, yeah. So then him and then LA Knight and Jacob was in the ring. Then at one point in time, they showed Drew and Damian on the side of the ring, like where the people were. So then I'm like, so then I looked, when they showed a quick glance at the ring right quick, the ring was empty. So I'm like, where the hell did Jacob and LA go? Damian and them out fighting. Damian got the camera to Drew, his face talking about something. Oh, he bored at work, something like that. Put him up where production, sound, and equipment and stuff is. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Then he looked, poked him in the eyes, because you know Damian did that to Drew. And then they went down and hit the tables. First of all, the crowd was yelling tables first 5 minutes. Yeah, it's, from a fan standpoint, like, it's real interesting to see. But now that I'm getting older and I know like what that does to the body and stuff like that, I'm like, you can have a good wrestling match without having all that stuff. Like, if we didn't even have that part, it still would have been a good match regardless. Okay, so people are crying. This is awesome. The way Drew's neck and stuff and Damian hit, they were sitting there like this. I said, I know that hurt. Okay, and I was like, the way I said, I'm scared of way his head hit the thing when they showed the replay. So they was like, the other refs and medic was out there. I said, they need to be held. Drew might got a concussion. Okay, hell, Damian might got one too, even though his head ain't hit the cement. Cause I was like, that's crazy. So then, Jacob and LA were fighting. LA had Drew, I think, Jacob over the side where the timekeepers were. No, he had put him on where the announcement table was. Like, he had removed him, right, where the announcement table were. And then he had placed him on there, and he was on LA Knight was about to jump, because at first he gave him 2 elbows, and I was like, that's it, before they showed it. And he kicked out, and I was like, I don't know why I said I should have known better that wasn't gonna pin Jacob. And Wade had me cracking up because he's talking about some yada mean. Cole said, what does that mean? He said, it's something he says. And I said, the fact that y'all got Wade saying this is crazy. Okay? And as soon as he was about to jump, Solo comes and pulls Jacob out onto the floor. LA's face he looks pissed. Okay? He is pissed. You hear me? So, first Solo got that. I like Solo with the brown on the side. Like the whole blonde thing the whole time. I was like, I get it. But I was like, the brown showing, I like that better. Second of all, I was like, okay, Chain. Then I said, why he got them gloves on? Then I was like, I know he ain't got them dress shoes on and you out there fighting people, okay? And then I noticed with the guys, I said all of them got on tennis shoes except for Drew. Drew the only one that had wrestling shoes on. Because I was trying to figure out if LA Knight had on British Knights or what kind of shoes he had on, or what them men Louis Vuittons. And if those are men Louis Vuittons because they had the red bottoms, why are you wrestling in them? Okay? Why? Then, so he goes after Solo. Then, dang, I just had homeboy name in my head. JC, because I can't think of his name, comes out from New Japan Wrestling. We've been signing a lot of NJPW people as of recent. And you know what I notice about WWE is when they let certain people go, the same amount of people they let go is the same amount of people they hire. So if they don't have story written for you, which I feel like part of that is the writer's fault. Because some of the talent that they let go of shouldn't have got let go of. If y'all did y'all women's tag team division better, the Party Girls shouldn't have got left, okay? Kid and Katana. And their greatest solos acts, okay? Y'all got a show on Wednesday on Tubi. Y'all might as well just add another show on regular TV. Even if you add it on to, Wednesdays on Tubi, along after whatever the hell it's called with the Evolve or whatever, niggas is going to watch that because one, Tubi is a free app. Second of all, it will give all the extra talent that y'all keep signing and not using a show to be on, okay? Because y'all giving all these people hopes, this, that, and the third, and I know the best of the best is going to make it and people going to get cut. But you got Evolve, and then, which is like the third tier. If we was like in baseball or something, it would be like the minor leagues. And then you would have like, then you got NXT, okay? Which is like kind of the majors, but not really. And then you got the roster. So I'm like, you might as well make Wednesday, okay? Because y'all daggone got a show every day of the week. If we count TNA, who we're partnered with, and then you got AA, which I don't even know if they got shows that show on TV. And then you got NWA that Jazz is a part of that y'all allow the wrestlers to wrestle on GCW and NWA because Natty is doing it. You add all them, and NWA come on Saturday at CW, okay? Come on my TV on Saturday at CW. Y'all on TV, if y'all count NWA, TNA, and WWE, y'all on TV Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with Evolve, Thursday TNA, Friday with SmackDown, Saturday y'all on every day but Sunday, every day. And that's not even including ROW. That's on YouTube. I think every Thursday or Friday. Okay, y'all might as well add these shows because now WWE is becoming oversaturated with all these wrestlers, and then y'all giving them, oh, we going to get them to get signed. I don't know what the contractual obligation is, like if it's a clause that we can cut you anytime or whatever, and then have these people get cut, and now they got to go somewhere else. So either people got to open up more independent wrestling spots around the country, or they're gonna have to try to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's crazy. So it's at my door. But it's like crazy because it's like, I don't know. So he comes out and attacks LA, does the side joint on the post, and I'm like, first of all, I ain't never seen nobody do that, and if I have, I ain't seen nobody do it in the wall. Second of all, I know the Undertaker used to do the Damian joint when he walked across the ropes, but what is that called? Okay, because I like that, but I don't know what it's called. Third of all, okay, I never noticed how smooth Drew is with the Claymore. I never noticed how smooth he is with that. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like when people do super kicks, you can tell they doing super kicks. Like that. And they kick you. The only person back in the day that still, I feel like, does it and you don't really notice it because it's so fast would have been Shawn Michaels. Depending on who he's wrestling, KO, stuff like that. But like, you can tell when the Usos did it. It's very obviously when Jade did it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Claymore, I just noticed and I was like, I had to rewind and I was like, oh wow. You know, or maybe I'm just late to the party. But I ain't never noticed that. And then, yeah, so he comes out. So Jacob comes up. Because everybody's confused, like, oh my God, you know, Cole, the new free agent. So after that happens, Jacob's looking, and they was like, he is perplexed. I said, he looked pissed and confused at the same time. I said, then they showed the up close on him. I was like, Jacob ain't colored his locks. They the brownish, you know. It was like, it's coming out. I was like, my man's look like he ain't slept well from Friday to Saturday. And then I was like, the good thing is he the first match. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, after that, I'll be going to sleep in the back. Okay? I watched the old thing that showed up on my algorithm of like the 10 things Roman Reigns can't live without. And one of them was a blow-up mattress. I said, nigga, that's genius. You mean to tell me I'm only getting 3-4 hours of sleep if we leaving from somewhere at 12 and we get to the hotel at about 4, okay? And then we gotta be, and that's if I instantly go to sleep, because 9 times out of 10 I'm not instantly going to sleep. Then we gotta be at the name by like 2. Say 1 o'clock we gotta be there. So now I'm getting there at 4, we gotta be there at 1. If I instantly go to sleep, I can get maybe 7 hours. And then ask for a late checkout so I could work out, take a shower, then get my stuff. If I don't do a late checkout and I gotta get up out of there at 11, that means I gotta get up like at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that's only 3.5 hours sleep. Wake up, exercise, okay? Take a shower, check out, then head to the arena or whatever the hell I'm at. Right? And I would have had a blow-up mattress too. And I'd have been so used to sleeping. I'm so used to sleeping with noise because I grew up in a house of 5 other people. It was 6 of us growing up. That when I first went to college and I had my own room, I used to go to sleep and had a sleep timer on and go to sleep with having Disney on in the background just to have noise because I'm so used to noise. I'd have been dead to the world. I don't care what people would have said. If they ever tried to pull some pranks, I got some sleep. Okay. So I'm just saying. But he looked confused, and then he looked like this. Then he kept looking, Jacob, and then he went to first he did the moonsault. Before what's the name, gave him an elbow, and I said, I know that moonsault landed on nobody hurts. But he did some move and backed up on LA and then did some move and then pinned them and then looked and then took the thing and looked and then looked at both of them and walked off. I had a couple things, okay? First thing, Bloodline getting all the people from the PI, ain't they? I ain't mad at it. I mean, shoot. Y'all want to say y'all grew up together, y'all wrestled together, y'all people grow together, your play cousins, whatever you want to call it. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Add a tree and connect it somehow. Hell, he's Filipino, right? He say, or is he from Fiji? And then Guam or something like that. That's still. Is that the Pacific Islands? Is Guam? Where's Guam? If it's not the Pacific Islands, it's still in the islands. So I'm still count it. Okay. I can't remember where that is. If it's by Puerto Rico or is that the Virgin Islands or if it's on the other side. But if not, I was like, I ain't mad at it. But him being Filipino makes him PI anyway. To me. Because some Asian people don't consider them Asian, which is weird. I know they can sing their tail off. That's stereotype, and I don't care, but it's a good one. They sing their faces off. You hear me? Her is Filipino and black. They sing that. I watch React channel, and the girl Izzy, she's Pakistani and Filipino. She sings her face off. I don't care what nobody say. Every Filipino, I just assume y'all could sing, because I've never met somebody that's from the Philippines or a Filipino descent and cannot sing. Okay? Judge your mama. Like, and that's nothing bad to have, because I wish. Like, I could sing a little bit, but if I could sing like them, like, I wouldn't work. That would be my job. I'd be working at open bars and stuff. Okay? Second of all, he was not happy, which I get it. Like, this man is a force to be reckoned with. Okay? You want to, this is what, your second or third title defense? You want to do it on your own. And then Solo is over here taking matters into his own hand, like he's still the tribal chief. You lost the Ulafala. So what is we doing? You lost that almost a year ago at Bad Blood. Okay? Then, so that's 1 and 2. Then, if I was Jake, I'm like, who the hell is this? Okay? Because he looked like he just as big as me. Like, you trying to replace him. If I did acknowledge you as my tribal chief, it looked like you trying to replace him as your new enforcer. So what am I? And where the hell is Tama Tonga? Okay? Another thing. Okay? I just lost it. I just lost it. And I had it in my brain. That Damian and Drew thing is not going to end for a while. Just based off of the look. I said, this is going to be the start. We already knew it was seeds planted. But I was like, that Solo versus Jacob match is coming real soon. Okay? Now I said, I'm not going to say that Jacob will win because Solo got a new person. So Homeboy might interfere. But I was like, that's coming real soon. I forgot what else I was going to say because it had something to do with the match. Oh, I was also going to say that the match was awesome. Kudos. But what's more impressive is 3 out of 4 of these men are over 40. And they still perform like that. Okay? I was watching 7 p.m. in Brooklyn and they had interviewed Carlos Miller and he was talking about F with it or F out of here, a 37U football league. And what's the name was like, I F with it, because if you still got the mobility to do it, play and stuff as long as you want, you can do it. And I'm like, certain people get our age, okay, because I'm that age. Certain people get our age and think that you can't dance, you can't move. The only thing that makes you old and crippled, if you ask older people, is sitting still. You got to keep moving. That's one of the things they tell you. You got to keep moving and you got to keep your mind sharp. Do word puzzles, Sudoku, do stuff, read a book, do stuff to make you happy, paint, whatever, but also keep moving. So, like, to see this match and for it to be the kickoff match, like, I was super excited. So I can't, like, Backlash, I was like, okay, you starting off on a good start now. Okay? Don't disappoint me now. Because y'all know sometimes the first match or the last match be good, and then the middle matches you be like, But I just had to pause and dissect that match because I was like, it's a lot, and it's only been 30 minutes, and I still got 2 hours to go, so we'll see what happens with the rest of this Backlash. Lyra versus Becky was child, okay? I love the fact that it's only 5 matches. I had to think about what match was next. So I think we have Penta, Dom, Pat, and Gunther, and then Randy and John next. And I think each match is getting 30 minutes. What I love about the women, they're the only woman on the card, is that leading up to it, I was a little iffy. Because I was trying to figure out why the hell Lyra was the women's Intercontinental Champion over Dakota, Zelina, or Shayna. Wrestling wise, I was like, then I watched it a couple weeks ago before her and Becky started thinking. I was like, I understand it, which I should have remembered, because I watched Vengeance Day when Tatum had helped her, and then she went against Lola and all the things, and they made it like a triple threat and whatever. But I forgot, because I haven't seen nothing of her since she got, you know what I'm saying? But even then, I didn't really see her do promos that well. Like, they tried to put her with Xia Li when I was pushing for Xia Li and all the things, but I was like, it wasn't until 2-3 weeks before Backlash that I was like, okay, where has this Lyra been? Because I was like, we need, like I said, we need wrestling. Like, we know they can wrestle. That's not even, that's the cake. Where's the icing? Where's the promos? Where's the segments that's going to make us buy your merch? Where is, you know what I'm saying? What's all this? What's the gimmicks? What's the dry humor if you have it? Where is the seriousness if you have it? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are all these things? So her doing these promos with Becky the last 2-3 weeks was everything. This match was really good. For a long time it was one-sided. To me, Lyra was kicking Becky's behind for a while. Becky had came back. First of all, when she did the little back jump and then start rocking her, I said, what is that? Okay, me and Becky the same age. Okay, when you get a certain age and you've been doing stuff physically to your body and stuff like that, and I think Becky's been wrestling for 21 years, since she said that she was 16 or something. She lied about getting to wrestle school, whatever. Your knees can't do certain stuff like you used to do. So for you to have it flipped back is crazy. Even me now, like, I'm putting off knee surgery because they told me I can't drive for 3 or 4 weeks. I have a child that I have to take to and from school. He doesn't catch the bus, so that's not gonna work. But I'm like, okay. Then she did landing her, had her legs wrapped behind her. I was like, that's a move my cousin used to do to me and my sister. I was like, when you younger, you be like, all right, it don't hurt as much, it still hurt. But I'm like, you older getting that done to you, that crap hurts. Okay. Another thing is, Lyra, I think she had no 3 manhandle slams from Becky and ended up still kicking out. She hit her with the Nightwing. It looked a little awful. She didn't get it all. And then Becky, I was trying to figure out why the hell Becky at one point in time. First she was like, is this your girl? Is this your girl? I was like, who is that guy? And then when Cole said, that's a fiance, I said, okay. Excuse me. He's so cute. He's not what I pictured what her fiance would look like, only because most of the time when people that are in the sports entertainment world is engaged or married to someone, as of recent, it's someone who either was in the business, like worked as a wrestler or a producer or something like that, or they're in the business. You know what I'm saying? Like Ciampa with his wife, if you see them together, you be like, but then you remember that she tried out to be a wrestler, or she was one for a little bit, like stuff like that. So like, he looked like he works in business. He comes home, he might got 1 or 2 hobbies, he games, and then that's it. Like, he got a regular 9 to 5. That's what he looked like. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have kids. Because if you have a regular 9 to 5 and I'm traveling once or twice a week throughout the year and we have kids, then that means if we afford to put them in daycare, they could be home with you. That would be the compromise. Like, okay, we can have kids, and when I'm home, I'll make sure I'm present for my family. But also, I'm gonna let you know that I'm still not gonna quit what I'm doing. Like, that's the only way you can do that. I feel like to have kids while you're still in the game is either you have to take a hiatus, you have to homeschool your child until you retire. I don't care if the child 15. They coming in with you, they getting homeschooled. One of the spouses or significant other has to be a stay-at-home person where they don't work at all, or if they work a regular 9 to 5, they have to make sure to pick up the slack while you're gone. But the match was really good. Like, when she was doing certain moves, I was like, Lyra is gonna be. I see why every time she wrestles now, like Cole says she's here. I see why she is got called up. I see why she got called up, because at first I was kind of confused. Secondly, whoever did Becky's cat eye, y'all did that, okay? Thirdly, Becky must not got no gear or nothing from Troy, because she been wearing that all black for a while. And when they first started wrestling, something came out, a Lyra, and I was like, I don't know if that's an earring or a sequence from her hair. But I'm like, something had popped out. Lyra done got her eyes poked out. I think the girl done broke her nose. And she still ended up winning the match. I was like, this is crazy. It was a good match for me. It was decent. It was good for Becky's first solo match back. But this lets you also know that even though her and Paige and the other 3 horsewomen and Paige and AJ, because we always forget about them before, and Naomi and all of them started the evolution, and then like Paige and AJ buckled up the seatbelt, and then the 4 horsewomen put foot on the gas, and then Bianca, Misha, and all them that came a year after had it take off. This goes to show you also that time catches up with everyone, and that Becky has a little ring rust, because when she was doing certain moves, I wouldn't say she was late, but I'm like, certain moves that she did might have worked against other girls when certain women weren't doing certain moves 10, 20 years ago. I'm like, but there's a whole new breed of girls out. And this girl, Lyra, got to be like at least 10 years younger. Second, another thing is, when Lyra had jumped on Becky when she fell out the ring, I'm like, how thick? I know it's white padding, right? But how thick is the padding? Because is it like in the middle of the ring thick? Or is it like thick like when you're on a gym mat type thick? Because she just fell back and then popped up. I'm like, I know your body's used to it because your brain is used to it. When you do certain stuff in any industry, your body's used to it. But I'm like, I just want to know how thick it is. Like, I want to just touch it. Because I'm like, for them to fall back like that is crazy to me. It's crazy. And yeah, I know their body's used to it, because like when I said I was a manager at Taco Bell, you have to hold a tortilla on each side of the heat thing for 5 seconds. It hurts the first like week or two. After a while, you don't even feel it no more. Your fingerprints don't feel anything. Even though it's the same hot sensation, your brain is like, okay, we're used to this. So, yeah, but I'm glad that Lyra had retained. And then when they showed Becky up close, I was like, oh no, she done went off the deep end, didn't she? I said she went to go to get the thing and try to use the turnbuckle. Then she tried to get the turnbuckle. Jessica had caught it back. Then when she got it out, she barely kicked out at almost 3. Then before that, she stepped to Jessica and was like 3. And I said, girl, Jessica ain't what you want, girl. She not one of the refs that you want, okay? I know a little bit of Jessica and Daphne's backstory, and both of them used to wrestle. The women, I don't know about none of the men that wrestle. I meant that are refs. But the women that are refs is not what the women want, okay? Like, if they allowed Jessica to come out of retirement for 5 seconds, Becky was going to be no more good, okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen on the Monday after, because I haven't watched the past 2 weeks. So I'm trying to catch up between now and Friday, so that when SmackDown comes on Friday and Saturday Night Main Event comes on Saturday, that I'm caught up. So we'll see what happens. Hey y'all, so this match with Dom versus Penta is crazy. First of all, Penta comes out. Why he walk out like that? Every time he come out and he do this. And then I don't know what that is. I guess it's like no touching hands, even though he has gloves on, because people are nasty. I get that part. But then when I looked at his gear, I was like, I didn't see the full, I just saw the top part, and I was like, it looked like a monochromatic regular outfit. It don't even look like gear. But then as soon as Dom's music play, the crowd goes crazy for a second. I was not expecting that. Okay? WrestleMania, when we all cheered for him to win, I was expecting that because I was one of those people. But when he came out, I wasn't expecting that. First of all, Dom got a little swagger with him when he come out. He came out with the gang, of course, the rest of Judgment Day. And then they said his gear is what did he say? His gear is homage to his goddad. And I thought he was talking about Eddie. Forgot this man got like 7 godparents. And I was like, I can't say nothing because my son got 4 sets of godparents. He got 2. His dad picked 2 on his side, and I picked 2 on my side. We picked family because, you know. So, he got his uncle and aunt and his great uncle and aunt on his dad's side, and then his the same, my sister and my aunt on my dad's side, and then his brother and his aunt on his mom's side is my son's godparents. But it was like crazy because it was crazy because for a minute, you know, Dom plays all day. And then they was talking about how 30 seconds after he won, he said he was the greatest IC champion. And Cole was like, it's the audacity. And he was like, Wade, I'm next to you. And Wade was like, well, it's people that's Hall of Famers and not Hall of Famers that are IC champion. He was like, well, you've been IC champion 5 times. And he was like, well, based on his merit stuff, he's better than me. And he was like, come on. I was like, okay. And so then, like, because Dom talks a lot of trash and helps interfere in matches and stuff, you forget how great of a wrestler he is. The 20-year vet. You forget. So when he was out here doing certain moves, I was like, okay, he did the 619 real smooth, even though he missed. He did a suicide dive into a DDT. I don't think in the 3 years I've been watching consistently, I've ever seen that in my life. You hear me? Even Cole was surprised. And he was like, I like the aggressive with Dom. I said, okay. He was on it. For a while. And I was like, Penta can't even get it together because Dom keep coming. I was like, the only thing with this is when you do like this, if you don't stay at a steady pace and you run out of energy, your opponent can come back. Or because Dom, after every couple moves, he would stop and pose and the crowd would cheer and stuff like that. I was like, Penta gonna come back when he turn around and least suspect it. Watch. That did not happen. Penta hit him on the barricade with the Mexican destroyer. And I know it hurt because we heard it. Okay? Then Judgment Day come out. So here come Carlito. Cole was like, I was waiting when they was going to come out. I said, okay, me too. I was wondering when they was going to come out. He hits Carlito. Carlito comes out. So then JD and Finn come from the side. So they got Penta up. Finn decides, I'm not going to hit him. I'm going to go over there by the timekeeper's area and get a chair. Why would you get a chair when JD had him held and all you had to do was hit him? So because it took you so long, the referee saw you and told all 3 y'all to get out. Carlito's pissed. JD is pissed. And I was like, well, this is payback. Because I'm like, even though Finn, like somebody in the group has a title, I'm like, Dom did Finn dirty and attacked him to win that. And I was like, eventually, even if it would have came between the two of them. They would have had to fight each other, but not so early on in the match. So, yeah. So, in between that, Dom had, after the 619, Dom had hit Penta with the Oblivion. I was like, oh, that's cute. Wait, talking about something. Oh, he missed his baby cakes. Cole said, what? He said, that's what they call each other. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I would have said that. Okay. So then, so Finn goes and tries to go like he's going in the ring again. The ref is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Cole comes out because he's like, El Grande Americano or Chad Gable, whoever it is coming with the loaded mask. And he was like, to hit Penta with it. He hit Penta with it. Dom comes out and pins him. And El Grande Americano's on the side. Wait, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, if Chad Gable is fit as hell, you hear me? You know how, excuse me, Pat always says that Ludwig, but mostly Finn, has 1% body fat. That ninja, Chad, probably got 1% body fat. You could see the rib part right here on the side with abs on the side, along with abs right here and all the muscles, every muscle in your body you can see. You is fit as hell, okay? Number two, we know that's Chad Gable, because who else gonna have a lucha mask that says American made right here? And then when Chad is dressed as Chad, he had a shirt that said El Grande Americano. Like, so I was sitting there like, what? The outcome is not what I thought it was gonna be, but it was what I expected. Meaning, I knew that Judgment Day was going to interfere. Okay? I did not expect Dom to win. I thought Judgment Day was going to interfere. If I think this is what I said, I think. But for some reason, Dom was still going to lose the championship, and Penta was going to be the new champion. So, so far, I am 2 for 3 because I had Jacob winning, I had Lyra winning, but I think I had Penta winning, and I think Gunther winning, and I the last one could go either way for me, but I think I said Randy would win, but I'm not sure. I'm not there yet. So, I don't know. I don't know. The match was good though. And like I said, you forget how good some of these people are because I'm so used to doing segments, especially factions like the Judgment Day. Like, awesome group of men that could wrestle their tails off. You hear me? Like, normally, even in factions or groups, you get one or two, maybe one that's not as good a wrestler as the rest of them, but he might be really good at segments and promos, or you might get one that's an extremely good wrestler, but not that good at promos, like vice versa. Now, I don't know about JD having conversations other than Damian didn't want him being in Judgment Day. But I know as far as segment goes, like Dom and them, when they do Judgment Day stuff in the background, they're really good at that. But like the three of them, because Carlito hasn't really had a singles match. He has one like every once in a while. But the three of them, JD, Finn, and Dom, phenomenal wrestlers. Also, who's like that, as far the three of them are really good wrestlers, Creed Brothers and Chad. Now, as far as segments and stuff go, he used some work. But the fact that all three of them went to college and was going to Olympics, or the Creed Brothers decided not to go to Olympics and decided to go WWE instead, like, that's the whole thing. So, like, it's just awesome to see when you have factions that are that talented, because it's like you really could be unstoppable with these people. Like, I feel like the weak links in this faction would be one of the women and one of the men. But I'm not going to say that. Well, I kind of already said it. But if I had to pick a weak link, but that's only because they don't let him wrestle as much. And the woman, she's powerful, but she moves slower than normal. So, and she was out for a while. So, but it was an awesome match. Like, I can't wait to see more matches with him in it. And I love how the crowd was singing "Dirty, Dirty Dom." And I said, are they singing like in Europe? And then I was like, half the crowd was cheering for him, half of the crowd was cheering for Penta. And I was like, this change. I never thought in my whole time of watching, like I said, in 3 years, that they would be cheering for this man. Like, what? You know, the heel on top of heel on top of heel situation. I don't even know if we would call him a heel at this point. Now he's reached to the point where he's the anti-hero, like Stone Cold and myself call the people that's supposed to be heels, but the crowd still loves him. He done reached that because when he first went turn on his dad, he was a heel and got with Rhea now. Then when he turned on Rhea, he out-heeled him. We thought he out-heeled himself. So that's heel move number 2. Then at point in time when Rhea won, he was a scumbag, tried to get back with Rhea, and then he turned on Finn. Okay, now it's just expected, I guess. So it's not even like surprising. The surprise thing will be if he turned into a face. That would be the surprising thing. So it's like, we love to hate him. They don't even boo him when he talks anymore. Now they do Logan like that, and of course Nia. But I don't even think I don't know. So I don't know. I'm just interested to see future matches with him as champion, and what's gonna happen. And I know Finn and AJ are gonna have a match, which is gonna be a real good match. But AJ said he had next, so maybe we'll get that Saturday night main event or the Monday after, which I'm 2 Mondays behind, so I'll be seeing that in the next day or two. Yeah, hopefully we'll get that and all the things. And I gotta finish watching this because I'm trying to break it up per match, because if not, I'm gonna forget what the hell I'm saying. And a lot of times, I think in past stuff, I used to be like all over the place. That's where the rants come from. And then I'd be like, oh, what up? And then in my brain, I would start something, and then I'll go on a rant something, and I'll start another thing, and then after I posted that, I'll be like, oh, I forgot to finish this statement and say this statement. So I'm trying to see how this goes as far as me breaking it down per match as I'm watching. So this is the match I was waiting for, and it was Gunther versus Pat. As soon as his music came on, they were cheering. Gunther still has the clearest and cleanest entrance in the game. For a while, Gunther was just like, man, you know, mocking. Pat, like Cole and Wade said, Pat said he's gonna be biased because that's his friend and he feels like it's his fault. And Cole, Wade said, you know, he hopes Pat wins as well, but you know, Gunther is a force, which I knew Gunther was gonna win. That's not the thing. I just wanted to see how long Pat was gonna last and how, like, what led up to the outcome of Gunther winning. It was a pretty good thing. First of all, Pat surprised me when he took. I was trying to figure out whose jersey he had on that was signed, because I was like, he looked like he got that out of a frame thing in his office and just put it on. He threw it out into the crowd. I don't know if the people gonna keep it or if they gonna give it back or what the situation is. Second of all, Gunther kept giving him German suplexes and slapping him and stuff like that. He held his own. He broke out of the chokehold. I was surprised for that. He kicked Gunther. Gunther kicked him back. He chopped Gunther. Yeah. excuse me, because I know he's in the NFL when he was like, he played one game against St. Louis, and I was like, one, but, you know, he wasn't, sorry, it's from my eye. It all depends on how many seasons you know, and the team switched up. So I don't think the Rams were in St. Louis, right? Not in LA. So, I was gonna say the Cardinals, but that's a baseball team. But yeah, so he ended up doing that, and then he tried to moonsault. Gunther moved. He landed on his feet. Then Gunther hit him with a couple junior suplexes. The one, he landed on his feet again, and he kept kicking Gunther. He tried to get over the ring, but he tripped. But it was like he doesn't have experience being in the ring. Then one point of it, Cole stopped announcing and was like, just, you know, he kept telling Gunther like, just pin him, like you have nothing to prove. Gunther even stopped him set on the ropes, like, you come in here. So Pat took off the thing. Wade had announced by himself, was encouraging Cole took it off, was encouraging Pat, like, to come on, you know what I'm saying? Then I think Gunther had pulled Cole up. Wade was like, that man 58. I don't know how old Cole is, because Google say he 52, Listen ain't say he 58, Pat say he's almost 60, but Pat his friend, so he might know. So that means he's the same age as my mama. Like, he don't need to be in that ring, okay? Yeah, because my mama, she was, yeah. So she was like 20 and a half when she had me. So I was like, yeah, so he pulled him in. Pat got to Gunther in time. So Cole got up out of there. And then it ended up being Gunther ended up putting him in a chokehold, and Pat ended up tapping out, and then he basically went like this, like, my hat's off to you at the end, and walked off. But before that, the first time he did it, like, slam Pat, I was like, Pat whole face turned red. I gotta watch Pat McAfee on like how his experience was with Gunther after this, because I know he probably gave it on his show, and that comes across my algorithm every once in a while. But I just want to see, you know, what he said his experience was like, because they said he won 3 out of 4 of his matches. I was like, 75% ain't bad. It's when they show on YouTube how many Hall of Famers, what the percentage of for most of the people, wrestlers that were in the Hall of Fame of winning matches, they were between average 27 to 44%. Like the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like even Kobe, they say he lost more games than he won, and the man got 5 championships. So like 75% is crazy. Now he lost 2, so he's at 60%. But still, that's still better than some of the Hall of Famers, okay? Even though he only had 4. I think they said like this, he had 8 matches. Or something like that. Like 8 times he's performed. He's won 3 out of the last 4. Okay, so not counting the first 4. I think some of them was in NXT. He's not in doing Thunderdome here. This is the second time he's fought someone that used to be a champion. I don't know who else he's fought that used to be a champion. I don't remember. It seems like he has a match like once every 2-3 years. So I think he had one in 2020, and then I think he had one in 2022, right before I started watching. And then I started watching 3 years ago, end of April, early May. So if he had a match during that time, he already had one. And then this one, because remember they tried to put him in the Royal Rumble 2020. I want to say 2024. because that was the second one that Cody had won. So, and he looked at Omos and all them, and yeah, because he looked at Omos, and I think Braun and some other people, and looked at him, was like, I ain't doing it. And walked off, was like, nope, not doing it. And but that don't really, I don't count that as a match because he ain't even hit nothing. But he did really well. He did really well because we the same age. Now he might be a couple months older than me. The gray looks good on him, but he did really, really, really well, especially for someone like Cole said that hasn't wrestled. He doesn't wrestle often, and he hasn't wrestled in a while. I don't even know if I would have lasted 15 minutes. Okay. I know you got ring rust, but even like they say, a lot of the superstars that were there every week was like, even being away for 6 months is a lot. Like, you have to get your body used to it. You have to get back into the speed of it, all the things. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, that was the match that I was looking forward to seeing the most. Like, if this match was the first one, and then the Fatal 4-Way was the second one, the 3 matches I was looking forward to the most was this one, of course. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching. Then when it said the Fatal 4-Way with Jacob and them, I said, okay, Jacob and them. Then the one with Dominik and Penta. If they would have had them 3 first, to be honest with you, I don't know if I would have watched the Lyra Becky one, or would have cared to watch the Randy and Cena one. But now, since I'm in it and it's almost over, I might as well watch the last one. But I just want to see what the outcome is going to be for this last match. Because like I said, part of me thinks Randy's going to get it. But if Randy doesn't and Cena wins, I feel like they should run it back at SummerSlam. So I'll see. But good job, Pat, because you doing it all out here for the people that's 37, 38 plus. We almost at the auntie stage and uncle stage. You know, once you hit like 40, 44, because us millennials look good for our age. We don't look as old as some of the Gen Zers. Like the man on TikTok said, talking about you call us aunt and uncle, auntie and stuff like that, and you look like a grand cousin because you look old, like what, grand nephew. So yeah, I'm proud. Even though that he lost, that he stuck it out that long. Like, that's commendable. That's why Gunther had to give you your props, because I don't know if anyone else will do it. I don't know why Wade did retire. If he retired just because he was at the age, or if he got an injury. But if he just retired because he felt like he needed to get up out of the game, and he used to do this for a living, I don't even think Wade would have fought Gunther. That's something, you know what I'm saying? So, like, kudos. All the kudos. I'm proud of him for doing that. I can't wait to hear. I don't know if he'll be there on Monday, because he's probably going to be in pain and probably leaving up out after this and soaking his body or whatnot. But if he doesn't, if he's not on the Monday Night Raw after this, he has every right not to be on there for me, because he's probably sore. And if he is, that's even more of a testament to he loves what he does as far as commentating and being in this match, because some people would have been like, you got to give me at least Monday off. You know what I'm saying? My body ain't like, even though all of us got the same bone structure, stuff like that, it's like the Usos and Naomi and all that, because we all the same age. I don't do this on the regular. So I gotta watch Raw after this, but like I said, I'm proud of him. This to me was the most interesting match, and honestly, I think it had the fans the most involved. Outside of the first match with the Fatal 4-Way with the guys, the fans were most involved the whole entire match with this Gunther and Pat match. Like, people had bits and spurts with the girls, and then with Lyra and Becky, and then doing a lot of parts with, they were involved, I was saying, in the Dom Penta one, because they were doing the chanting and Dom was being oppressive. But like, I think the most involved must have been Had to been this one for me personally. Because even with them sitting there like, oh, and they were chanting and cheering and all the things. Because people always like a lot of WWE superstars say that a lot of celebrities want to come and have a match or wrestle, and then they feel the ropes and be like, oh, these are really hard. Well, y'all wrestle in this every week, you know what I'm saying? And then realize that it's hard, you know, harder than what they think it is. They think it's going to be soft. And I'm like, why do y'all think ropes is going to be soft? It's the same looking ropes that they used to make y'all climb in the gym when y'all used to have to do the PE test. And one had the knots in it for the people that couldn't climb the rope without it. And the other one had the one without the ropes. And I was like, you know, it's thick like that. I don't understand. And your body's going up against it. So, and it's tight because it's wrapped around something. So I don't understand why people think it's going to be assault. Well, maybe people forgot about the PE test or whatever. I remember it because I ended up climbing. I was one of the only girls that climbed it without the knots. But yeah, I'm excited. I now want to go switch over to YouTube and see what he says about this match. But kudos to him. Kudos to him. Because I'd have been excited and terrified at the same time. To do this in front of 17,000 people and around the world, Craig. The world, okay? Top flight security around the world. Like, WWE's become so big that they're in countries now that they probably weren't in countries of before because of Netflix and Peacock. And now you're watching, you're 17,000 live, but it's like people around the world watching this. So it's crazy. Yeah. I'm proud of them. That's all I gotta say. The Cena and Randy match was everything I thought it was going to be and more. I think I predicted that either Randy was going to win it or Cena was going to win it and they was going to run it back like SummerSlam or something like that. Cena, the end of result ended up being Cena ended up winning it. Like Cole said, Cena was quicker. He said he seems quicker in his match, which he seems like the ring rust was off. Like it was quicker in his match than when he fought Cody. Because that man went through an announcement table. An announcement table, because it's a good one now, they don't break automatically. So it broke after. And then Randy put him through another table and he still popped up. I was like, he gonna feel it in the morning. Seeing that a match like that with him in that type of match is going to make me miss him in a wrestling sense, even though I wasn't around when he was doing the ruthless aggression and all the other stuff. I do remember the match he had when he still had the tights on when he first fought, I think, Kurt Angle, and then when he fought Rikishi. But I remember watching glimpses of him with the spin belt and stuff like that. And, Randy and him being in the Evolution. But to me, because they try to make them so much of Rock and Stone Cold Part 2, and I'm such a fan of the Attitude Era, like during the Ruthless Aggression Era, I could not get with it. It was just surprising to me still, even though I knew this, that in this face-off, that Randy is the beloved in the face, and Cena is the heel. Because he said, I think in the Billboard interview, Cole had said that he was used to being booed every time he fought Cena. Cena just coming out there in all black and having the time is now thing was crazy. Excuse me. I like it. People be like, he say, I'm not giving you nothing extra, which you don't, because y'all booed him, and then once he hit the you can't see me 5-knuckle shuffle, y'all turn around and cheer. Another thing, production. I'm so glad that y'all did the DBA for Randy because it's his hometown, but Randy hit 115. LA Knight only hit 110. Okay, as far as we know, when the DBA has been gone up, nobody still hasn't beaten France. I think Puerto Rico probably would have came close, but the highest has been about 110. That was in London and in Berlin. Randy, them chanting his song, he hit 115. He even beat LA Knight that night. And I don't think it even has anything to do with St. Louis. Because to be honest, I feel like if they would have sang that song in Milwaukee, if they would have sang the song in Hawaii, if they would have sang the song here, like in Greensboro or something like that, people still would have, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know the whole song, but they know the parts they're supposed to sing. So, I don't know. I feel like when people sing Seth's song, the DBA should be out. Cody, when they hit the whoa, when Sammy and Shinsuke come out, they should hit it. It might not be as loud, but I know it's going to be probably at least 90 to 100. Only because certain people, you know, certain songs we sing along to. Okay? The other ones we dance to. So, like, having them come out when Jay comes out, other than them cheering, like, it's no point in doing that for that. But if it was like a movement thing, like, hey, when they do that, and in France, the building was moving, because everybody, if they had a movement thing, then yeah, he would get that. All the AAs that would hit, all the RKOs that would hit, and then in the first AA, Randy had countered it and hit an RKO. Randy got so mad because the one ref got hit into the stairs with him, and then they hit Eddie. Eddie couldn't count. Nick and all them come out, and for me, I was like, now Nick, I know Cena is laid out, but you've been watching this match. Why are you talking to Randy? And Cena's the one that hit Eddie with the thing. I would have been pissed and RKO'd you too. Like, what are we doing? So he deserved it. All of them deserved it. And I said, not Legend getting RKO. Shane got. I follow him on Twitter. I call him Legend. Legend Shane Helms got RKO. I was like, oh no. Okay. But and then what happened at the end? I love America and I hate America at the same time, because now I'm trying to catch up with the stuff with WWE, and WNBA has started. Soccer season is going on. I'm done watching the NHL because my team is out, so I can care less who wins the Stanley Cup. I haven't really watched this season of NBA games. I just hear the highlights on podcasts. But like, let's see. And I'm about to watch the press conference. But like, then truth comes out, because Wade at one point said, Wade said everybody in that locker room is backing up Randy against Truth. And I said, not everybody in that locker room. I said, Truth the only one that's still for him. Ironically, Truth came out in the back and he got RKO. And I said, you deserve that RKO too. Because like Wade said, he live in an alternative world. Second of all, he sold the hell out that RKO. Okay? He sold the hell out that RKO. And then, because Truth interfered when Randy should have won, Cena ended up lowballing. And then the original ref came back and ended up counting Cena as the winner for his first title defense. But I was like, I'm combing these curls out tomorrow. But I was like, yeah, you need to, yeah. So I want to see what's going to happen. Like, who's going to be his next challenger? Is it going to be SummerSlam? Because it's a 2-day event now. They're making it like a WrestleMania. To me, it makes sense because it's warm. But to me, the second biggest event should be 6 months later. 3 months to me is too soon. But the good thing about having PLEs with WWE is, in order for it, when you think it's getting a little stale, they have to stay on their P's and Q's, because there's a PLE once a month at least, or every month and a half. And I caught that, I think, after the first 6 months of me watching. I said, I ain't even catch that when I was younger. But I was like, I caught that. Because, back in the day when you used to have to watch the PLEs, you used to have to order it on cable. I think it was $25 or $30. So, if they would do $25, $30 each PLE now, they still probably make a killing because I wouldn't need Peacock. The only time I really watch it is if nothing else is on TV and I'm bored and I just have it on, or I'm watching WWE. So like Peacock is getting my money every month just for PLEs. And once that WWE switches over to Netflix, I'm canceling Peacock altogether. Like, there's no point in me having it. My sister uses it to watch Housewives and Married to Medicine. And I might watch those, and my son watches it to watch, like, Trolls 3. But, they watch it more than I do. But, like, all the stuff I like to watch is on Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix. So, even... like, I have Paramount Plus because I have Walmart Plus, and I don't even watch that. Like, HBO Max has all the good DC movies, the cartoon ones, and shows. Disney is Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney stuff. And I watch Ladybug and Cat Noir with my nieces. And then Netflix is Netflix. Like, so. But, yeah, I want to see what this press conference is about to be about because everyone retained, which was surprising and not at the same time, because I don't think I've ever seen a PLE in the 3 years I've been watching where everyone has retained their title. When is the last time that has happened? Like, that's crazy. Is that not crazy to anyone? Who are the new writers? I think they said Road Dogg became a writer, and they're going to have a show where they show like how to write and start takes place. To me, I don't need a whole season of that. Like, I would like to see like maybe 3 episodes at max to see what the concepts is and how far out they go with it. And if they like one episode, like how far out it goes. One episode, like how far ahead before the show do you give the superstars a script or a general idea what you're going to say, and then if it's last minute changes, what happens? You know what I'm saying? Or someone gets injured, what happens? The pivot. But that's all I need. I'm more interested in seeing like the production behind everything, and I could get like one long 40-minute YouTube thing on that too. Like, okay, we set this up, use this program, we do this, check, we do all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I love behind the scenes stuff. Like when they be like behind the music, growing up, all the behind the day in the life of, diary of, like that's me. Like, yes, we see the production on TV, but how did we get there? That's what I like to see. But I want to see what this press conference is about. I probably won't add the press conference in my video like I normally do, because for me it's past my bedtime. It's 12:22 on a Thursday. No, yeah, 12:22 Thursday morning. And if I'm up at 12 something in the morning, Wednesday going into Thursday, I'm watching YouTube, which I'm watching now, but I'm watching like catching up on a podcast, or I'm playing a game on my phone, or reading or praying or something like that. And then all the things, like I'm not watching this on a Wednesday. It's kind of weird, but I've been putting it off for 2 weeks. So I wanted to see, because Saturday Night Main Event, I know a lot of things have happened, and I could have skipped over and watched the highlights, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to get the thorough details, because I feel like I just want to know everything that's going on. My son doesn't watch it as much. Now he'll watch stuff like on TikTok, because the Generation Alpha is such a, you know what I'm saying? So he'll watch highlights on TikTok. He might watch them on YouTube. But if my son watches PLE matches, he'll watch old ones. Like he watched one, like he's on the year of 2017, 18. And I'm like, okay. And he'll tell me about like the WrestleMania highlights. He saw all those on YouTube. But he didn't watch WrestleMania with me this year. He doesn't watch WrestleMania with me since thoroughly since the Usos lost their title. He was big mad. I think the last PLE he watched with me was Money in the Bank. Year before last? Was it year before last? When the Usos had fought Solo and Roman. I think that's the last PLE we fully watched together. Like now I just watch him by myself. And he'll watch the highlights and thoroughly watch the highlights from every angle, every YouTube video, every TikTok, and then discuss it with me. So, but that was a good match. And if their matches in the past have been like that, then no wonder why. But I wouldn't say that Randy ended up not being a legend killer because of that. I will more so blame the refs, Nick, and R-Truth. Okay. Also, I would say I do see him winning the 15. Because at first when they kept saying Triple H has 14, I was like, Randy must got 15, right? I was thinking that him and Cena was like Cena had 16, Randy was one under him. Not like Randy had 14, Cena had 16. So for him to be third under Rick, I could see that. Especially if Rick got title chances like his daughter's gotten. Now, I'm not saying that some of the title chances that Charlotte has gotten weren't deserving. But like the one where she took it from Ronda because Ronda ended her contract. And I'm still mad about it because I bring it up all the time. And it was other women there all year that have been fighting and wrestling. And then Charlotte just so happens to come back. And then they give her a chance. Or she just comes out and pins her. She wasn't even, I don't think, Money in the Bank winner or something like that. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, so, for like a reason like that. Now, the story her ended up being with Rhea versus Rhea, it ended up being well. But, like, they could have gave the title to someone else for like a month or two. And then had Charlotte get it. And then her fight Rhea. You know what I'm saying? And, I was still upset about that, but oh well. I hope everyone has a great night. I'm not going to add the press conference to this video, but I will tweet about it. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see the tweets because I'm doing the tweets while I'm watching this stuff. So you guys have a great day or great night or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Okay, y'all. Bye.